Aspen Business Management System has an available rental module that is very flexible to help you manage every rental scenario that you may have. It includes rental fleet management, automatic depreciation options, billing, adjustments, recurring rentals, and reporting, to name just a few. Let's have a look at the rental entry screen. This is the screen that you can come to manage the rentals that you have in the system. You can find detailed information about all of your rentals right from this screen. You can also use this screen to quote rentals to your customer. So if you needed to look up a rental rate, you can click on the Rates tab without having to leave your rental management screen, and you can select any rate matrix from the drop-down in order to display those rates on the screen. Now let's say that your customer has called and inquired about your rental rates, and now they have decided that they would like to rent this equipment from you, and they'd like to know if it's available next week. We can actually check that rental capacity right from this screen by clicking the rental capacity button. And from here, we're going to put in the date range of when we'd like to rent this unit to this customer and what sort of unit it is that we're trying to rent. How many of these do we need to rent to the customer, and is that available for that date range? When we click the check button, Aspen is going to look at all of the rental units that we have associated to this rental group, and it's also going to compare that against any reserved and delivered contracts that we have in Aspen for this date range, and it will then let us know whether or not we can meet that need based upon the units that we have available in that group. You can also record a lost sale right from here by clicking on Lost Sale. This way, if you lose a rental sale, you can keep track of those sales that you've lost, and you can also establish lost rental reasons. These are defined by you. They can say whatever you'd like them to say, and then we can report on those lost sales later. This way, we can keep track of losing sales due to availability so that we know that if we need to beef up our rental fleet, and we can also keep track of sales that were lost due to price so we can determine whether or not we need to adjust our rental pricing. There's some additional information available on this screen as well. We can actually look up all of the contracts that we have that are either in a reserved or delivered status for a particular date range right from here. We can choose which rental groups we would like to have displayed here on the grid, and we can also choose if we'd like to deal with just rentals for our own location, or we can also look globally at all of the rentals across all of our locations. Once we determine what it is we would like to look at, each of these green bars that populates on the screen would represent a different rental contract. We can click on any of those green bars in order to display detailed information about that contract on the screen. So by selecting one of these groups, we now see that we've got some additional tabs that are available down here at the bottom of the screen. If we click on the contract tab, we can see some general information about this particular contract, such as what it is we rented, how many of those items did we rent, and what is the start date and expected end date of this contract. We can also see the status of this contract. In this case, this particular contract is marked as delivered. And we also have the contract number and the customer ID displayed here. By the way, this is also a hyperlink. So if we click on this hyperlink, it will pop up that contract in our invoicing window so that we can work with it. We can click on the Assigned Units tab from here, and we can see all of the units that have been assigned to this particular contract. And then on the Invoices tab, we can see all of the various invoices that have been billed against this contract. In this case, it looks like we've generated 3 different invoices against this contract for this customer. There's another tab available on this screen, and that is the Rental Contracts tab, and there's several different views available from here. My favorite view on this particular tab is the Delivered Not Completed view, because this gives me a listing of all of the rental contracts that I have that have been delivered that have not yet been returned. So I can keep track of rentals that are out there even if the return date has passed, and this way I won't lose track of any of my rentals. We can also see on this screen the start date of each of those rentals and what the expected end date was supposed to be, and you can also see whether this is a recurring bill, and if it is, what the next billing date it will be. From this screen, we can also bill contracts. So if we have a recurring contract that is ready to be billed another invoice, we're going to click on Bill Recurring, and Aspen will generate a new invoice against that contract for us. We can also adjust a contract right from here by clicking on Adjust. Now, one reason that you may need to adjust a contract is if you delivered a piece of equipment to your customer and it broke down partway through that rental. You're probably going to want to swap that out for a unit that's working, and you would probably like to keep track of which unit you've got out at that customer's location. So rather than starting a brand new rental contract, we're going to just adjust the existing contract, returning the unit that broke down and delivering the unit that we brought back out to that customer. You can also then move that revenue that was pre-billed from the broken down unit over to the newly delivered unit so that you can track the actual revenue against both of those units that were on that contract. In ASPEN, you also have the ability to choose on a contract by contract basis whether you are pre-billing or post-billing. So this is not a system setting. This is something that you choose every time you create an invoice against rental, and on each invoice you can decide if you are billing upon delivery or billing upon return. For more information about rentals in ASPEN, please give us a call at 303-932-6875 and select option 8 for sales. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.